Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning into these videos. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about how here in America, which is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, also encompasses the spirit of Sodom and Egypt. And right now it's when I'm making this video, it's the 1st of June 2023, and we all know that this month comes with a lot of wicked spirits that pertaining to the people that used to reside in the land that it was known as Sodom and Gomorrah. But that place was so wicked that the Lord had to erase it off the map. And we're seeing the same characteristics being played out here in America, which is known as Sodom and Egypt. This is Revelation 11 and 8, and it reads, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." And so this prophecy is going to be fulfilled via the thermonuclear missiles, because the scriptures also speak about the third woe. And this next war that's going to be fought is going to be fought with those thermonuclear missiles. All in the midst of everything happening in these last days, this place is going to be judged every step of the way. And it's going to the point where all the plagues of Egypt before, because this place is spiritually Egypt, so it's going to get all those plagues and some that Egypt was once plagued with. And it's going to be hit with all those things all the way until that final plague, which is when the chariots come and burn this place up, along with the missiles that are going to be shot off during World War III. And then Yahweh Shai returns on the great chariot. Every eye is going to see that, and he's going to deliver his elect from out of this place. And just like what happened in the times of Noah, and also what happened in the time of Lot, the scriptures say that, let me get that real quick. So this is in 2 Peter's. Actually, I got this right here. That was a precept, but I'll read it from 2 Peter's 2 and 6. Alright, so it says, "And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly." And just as Sodom and Gomorrah was erased off the face of the world because of its wicked ways, Babylon the Great is going to be that monument. And we're going to turn and see that this place is the land of confusion, utter confusion, and it's going to be inhabitable after the Lord is finished with this place, with all the plagues that are about to get ready to hit this place. And then in verse 7, it says, "And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked." And so we need to be in that stead. We need to be just as Noah was, pretty much separating from the broad gate that leadeth to destruction. And we're walking that straight and narrow, doing what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai commanded us to do. And this is also the mindset that you have to have while you're living in this place, because Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Even though he was living very successfully in the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, he was still vexed by the communication and all the obscenities that were taking place in that place, just as we are today. We are vexed, and we're pretty much, we're always praying to the Lord, "Lord, how long until you destroy these places?" Because the cities, like when you walk in San Francisco, it's like everywhere you turn, there's nothing but wickedness. Either it's a zombie that's half naked, or it's a person who's just got a bunch of unclean sodomite demons on them, and they're just pushing that vibration out there. Us here in this ministry, we are vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, and we can't wait till Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai returns, judges this place, makes it an example, and delivered the just hopeful elect, just as Lot was delivered at that time, and his two daughters, except for his wife, because she turned back and she pretty much wanted to stay in that wickedness. the vexation of being living in that place, it wasn't a big deal to her, but it was to Lot, and also us walking in his ministry. And in verse 8 it says, "For that righteous man dwelling among them, in seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." And so we're in that same situation where we're in this spiritual Sodom and Egypt. And you best believe this place is going to be cursed, just as spiritual Sodom and Egypt were cursed. I'm going to get this precept over here. In Jeremiah 51, verse 29, it says, "And the land shall tremble in sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitation, or without an inhabitant." And so this great judgment that's going to take place down here is pretty much for everything wicked that Esau has been doing while he's been let loose, while he's enslaved the Hebrew Israelites, which are the apple of the Most High's eye, and forwarding the affliction. But not only that, but destroying this world. If it wasn't for the elect being, the times moving quicker for the elect's sake, there wouldn't be any flesh to save, because the lifestyle that these people live is not conducive to life. It's actually a death style. And you could just look at all their little things that they do. They don't reach a ripe old age as you're supposed to do. They live fast and die young, or you should say I should say they die fast, because everything they do does not lead to life everlasting. Being in this ministry and walking this walk leads to life everlasting. But I want to read this here, because you must understand that as Babylon being the golden cup, and the wicked philosophies and the fornications that are being spread throughout, is because Esau Edom, his soul is not upright in him. And this is what he would do if he would rule the world. Like right now, that's how Esau is the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning that followeth. So he's the last person to rule before we do permanently. And you can see from his fruits and his works and everything that he puts his hand on, or his I should say, wherever his presence is, it's going to radiate wickedness and evil. And so I want to read this in the book of Sirach 10, and I'll start at verse 1. And it reads, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered." And so right now we're not living in a situation where a wise judge is ruling and instructing people. You literally got Esau going into the schools, going into the churches even, and pretty much teaching this philosophy that you could change sides, among other things. He's also teaching you about certain things about eating unhealthy. Just living in the society, you're gonna get bad habits. But if there was a righteous rulership, which there will be, just it won't be right now, none of these things are going to fly, because this place, once it's destroyed, it's going to be a monument for why you're not supposed to live this certain way. And verse 2, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." And if you look at the city of San Francisco, all the people are living under the vibration of Esau Edom. They're base men, and just as Job said, he wouldn't want them to sleep with his dogs, because that's how disgusting they are. They didn't even have a language back in the day. They were just living in the caves, grunting and eating each other up. You could just see all the homeless people and the zombies that are just walking around. That's pretty much what Job was seeing when he was speaking about Esau Edom. And not only that, but because Esau has pushed that wine of fornication onto everybody, pretty much even an Israelite, that of the 2/3, will pick up this lifestyle and live in such manner, because it's the king and his rulers that have these lifestyles that they push out there. that they promote, and they make sure that everyone is drinking of this wine. And just try to speak righteousness, you'll be made an enemy. Just as the scripture says, if you flee from sin, let me see if I can find it. All right, so this is in Isaiah 59, verse 15. It says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey." And when we're out there on the highways and hedges, we're putting our life on the line. Of course, the angels are encamped around about us, that not too much is going to happen to us. But understand the fact that once we're working this ministry and we have the plow in our hand, we're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And when we would depart from these things, we don't acknowledge all this wickedness, or however they may be. We pretty much stick out and we make ourselves a prey. So I'm going to read from the top again. It says, Isaiah 59, verse 15 says, "Yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment." And so right now he's seeing that only the hopeful elect, the remnant, are actually standing up, standing boldly against these wicked people and their ideologies. And so that's ultimately why Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is going to come and deliver the elect, but not the 2/3, because they're too far gone. Just as what it says in Matthew 24, it's because of the elect's sake that the times are shortened. Yeah, because if it wasn't, there wouldn't be any flesh to be saved. All right, so I'm going to continue back here in the book of Sirach 10, and I'll start at verse 3. It says, "An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable." And this is prophetic right here, going into the book of Daniel, because after that statue is toppled down, the monument of Jerusalem, Yashrallah, is going to be established forever. We're never going to be taken out of power, and that's going to be the profitable servant. Even the creatures are waiting for this time. The trees are going to rejoice when the nation of Israel is at rulership, and like the heathens, even though they're going to be paying tribute to us and being our servants, it's not going to be as bad as what they have it here. At least they'll be able to breathe clean air, because that's stuff that we're not going to do in the kingdom of Israel, or once we rule this place. We're going to rule in righteousness, and none of this wicked stuff that's down here that's vexing, none of that's going to fly. All right, so I wanted to read this here, just going into the characteristic of Esau Edom. And so this is in Psalms 58. Hold on one second. All right, so this is Psalms 58, verse 1. It says, "To the chief musician, Alshith, Meketh of David, do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O ye sons of men? Yea, in heart we work wickedness. Yea, we weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." And so this is speaking about Esau Edom, that the spirit inside of him is not upright. The Lord made them crooked. They made them base than everything alive down here. And so it would only make sense that when they're in power, when they're in rulership, then that it would be the basest type of rulership, the one that where it's just utter disgusting confusion, wickedness, vexing to those that are righteous. And I'm going to read verse 3 again. It says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies." And everything that they're pushing out, like in the cartoons, the media, and in the schools, even to your kids, everything they're speaking is lies. They're not speaking with the scriptures in mind. They're speaking contrary towards the scriptures. In verse 4 it says, "Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely." And that makes me think of the book of Sirach, where it says, "Never trust thine enemy." Are you going to take pity on a person who's playing with a snake and they get bit by him? And that's the mindset you have to have for the 2/3 who aren't vexed in this society. That's an indicator that if you're not vexed living in this society, or you have nothing to say, then these scriptures don't apply to you. I'm going to get a quick precept here in the Lord's Prayer in Matthew 5, verse 6. It says, "Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled." Verse 7 says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see Yahweh. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." And you best believe when we're out there putting our lives down the line and we're making ourselves a prey, we're the meek in that sense, and we're going to be persecuted for righteousness' sake. And it's saying that pretty much that the kingdom of heaven is ours, because that's what the elect are going to be doing in these times. They're going to stand stiffly for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, and they're not going to lose their integrity or bend the knee. Alright, so I read a few of these precepts already, but I want to read this one right here in Jeremiah 51 and 53. It says, "Though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because the Lord hath spoiled Babylon, and destroyed out of her the great voice, when her waves do roar like great waters, and noise of their voice is uttered, because the spoilers come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken, every one of their bows is broken, for the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai power of recompense shall surely requite." And that's why, because it's the Lord's vengeance. We're waiting upon the Lord, because it's His vengeance that He's going to destroy this place and gather His elect. And none of us are going to do this with our own power. And it's pretty much Esau is going to fight a losing battle, because you can see in this month of Pride, you can see what the scriptures are saying prophetically what's to take place in this land of confusion. And this is Proverbs 16 verse 18. It says, "Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall." And I want to read this last precept here in Matthew 11 verse 24. It says, "But I say unto you, that it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom in the day of judgment than for thee." And the land of Sodom was judged in a sense where it was burned with brimstone, but it's not going to be as a big scale as here in America, because this place is going to get hit with 200 million thermal nuclear missiles, from Esau's allies. You can read that in the book of Obadiah. All the men of that confederacy are going to go up against him, and all that is because of the wickedness that he's done to the Israelites. He's touched the apple of the Most High's eye, and he ultimately has ruled unjustly on this earth and polluted it to the point where he needs to get taken out of power quick for the elect's sake. And with that, I'd like to give all honor and praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, Shalom Akim.